Yes, it's that time of the year again. Asus has launched the all-new ROG Phone 7 series, comprising of the ROG Phone 7 and the ROG Phone 7 Ultimate. As expected from Asus every year, this phone is an absolute powerhouse. The things this phone is capable of are extraordinary. But the question that arises is, do you really need a gaming phone when flagship phones are quite well spec'd? We'll get to the answer at the end of our review. For now, let's jump in and see what the ROG Phone 7 Ultimate brings to the table. The design of the phone is heavily adopted from the ROG Phone 6. The back is a white dual-tone finish and features the camera module, which has been kept refreshingly small and slim. There's a POLED display, which features different animations based on notifications or the activity that the phone is carrying out. We also get to see an aero-active portal, which is used to keep the internals of the phone nice and cool during a heavy gaming session. The phone features two USB-C type ports for charging and accessory attachment. And no, using both ports simultaneously won't speed up the charging process. The front of the phone does have bezels and a chin, but this has been done for functionality, as the stereo speakers are housed here and it acts as a resting spot for your fingers while gaming without obstructing the screen. The phone is a little chunky owing to all the components it's housing under the hood, but we can live with that. There's not a lot of changes when it comes to the design of the phone, but why fix something that works perfectly, right? The display is a 6.7-inch AMOLED display developed by Samsung. The screen provides a whopping 165Hz refresh rate and a 720Hz touch sampling rate. The display unit has a peak brightness of 1500 nits, and no, it doesn't end there. The screen is protected with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. There has been absolutely no compromise on sound either. The phone sports symmetrical front-facing stereo speakers tuned by Dirac. Now if that doesn't get the job done for you, don't worry. The Aero-Active Cooler 7 attachment that comes with the Ultimate variant acts as a subwoofer, and you have a 2.1 setup on the go. And we assure you the results are absolutely bonkers. If you're an avid headphone user, you get a 3.5mm headphone jack and high-res audio support. The color reproduction of the screen is extremely accurate. The display is vibrant and crisp. After all, with a setup so extensive, there's not a lot more you could ask for. Coming to the performance of the phone, we get the flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor in this phone, which does an extremely good job. Coupled with the ludicrous 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM, and 512GB of UFS 4.0 storage, this phone is lightning quick. Armoury Crate 2 gives you a lot of customizing and tuning options to optimize the phone's performance as per your liking. Asus has pulled out all the stops to refine the gaming process of the phone. The upgraded GameCool 7 thermal system, as Asus calls it, makes sure that the CPU and the internals don't heat up. You can attach your Aero-Active Cooler 7 with the Peltier element and fans positioned right over the CPU. And the Active Aero portal that automatically pops open when this attachment is added to the system. That's a whole lot of jargon. How does it perform, you ask? We played intense games such as Call of Duty and Asphalt on the maximum settings possible, and everything was absolutely flawless. The air trigger ultrasonic buttons add another dimension to the device, bringing the experience as close to a console as possible. You can even use vibration mapping to assign different haptic feedback to different actions. Another interesting feature added by Asus is the background mode, which works with games with auto combat. You can easily close the game and go about your day, and the system won't kill or pause the app. The Active Aero Cooler 7 has so much packed inside that it can amount to a review in itself. But to very quickly sum it up for you, not only does it cool your phone, acts as a subwoofer and turn heads at the same time, it also has a kickstand and houses a 3.5mm headphone jack and a Type-C port in case you decide to use the fan at its maxed out setting, which requires additional power. It also features extra triggers for further enhancing the gaming experience. For a change of pace, let's talk about what the phone is not good at. Considering it's a gaming phone, the camera performance isn't all that great. You get a 50 megapixel plus 13 megapixel setup. The phone misses out on a tele lens. The performance of the camera is just good enough for us to not complain too much. With decent light available, the results are mostly clean. The 32 megapixel front camera is quite an upgrade from before and does a much better job at selfies. The phone struggles with accurate skin tones for the most part, and while the portrait mode is quite good, it is prone to the same fate. The phone is powered by a 6000 mAh battery, which is quite great. What's even better is the design of the battery. Asus has gone with the split cell design, with 3000 mAh cells on either end of the phone. This helps with fast charging as well as weight distribution across the phone. The phone supports up to 65 watts of fast charging, though it only ships with a 30 watt charger out of the box, which is quite strange for a flagship variant. You also get the option of pass-through charging in case you want a constant power supply without heating up your phone. The phone ships with Android 13, which has been given a hyper gaming look, but you have the option to switch it to a clean, near stock Android look if that's what you prefer. There's no doubt this phone is absolute overkill in the best sense of the word possible. But does the gaming ecosystem do enough to support it? The phone supports hardware accelerated ray tracing but doesn't have enough games in the suite to utilize it. Coming back to the question of do we need gaming phones when flagship phones are so well spec'd? The answer according to us is yes. This phone is a brilliant piece of engineering that is sure to blow your mind and leave you thinking, I had no idea my phone could do that. And isn't that what tech is all about? I mean, any car could fill the purpose of taking you from point A to B, but that doesn't mean you won't love driving a Bugatti, does it? The ultimate variant of this phone costs $99,999 and the base variant costs $74,999. So would you buy this absolute monster of a phone? Let us know.